Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Spiritual Courts of Equity with Angela Miller of Concordia Consularis, the spiritual and business agency of the Fifth World of Peace. It's my great pleasure today to introduce another episode with Cora. I'm just going to bring her on. But before I do start talking to Cora about her background and what her issues are and what her story has been, I just wanted to give information about a super workshop online on the 2nd of February 2022, 7 p.m. EST, and that is designed for the Indigo generation. Now, specifically here, Indigos will have been targeted from the very first incarnation. And what that means is that you will have led a pretty damaging life and existence in many ways, not ever being able to reach the fullest potentials. Now, we will be removing influences. Some people call them entities, but these are groups and factions that are present on the planet today that really wanted to see you smashed, either dead or inactive. So I'm bringing this particular clearing and activation to the fore because it's really important for all those who are coming online now to be influence-free so that you're not getting sucked into the dogmas and agendas that are being put out there. So I just wanted to get that bit in there before we get started. Thank you, Cora, for just bearing with me in these moments.
That's fine.
Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Cora. I live in West Devon in the UK, and I've recently trained in SCHH, which is like a hypnosis modality, and I've just sort of become really fascinated with all this type of thing that's possible in the spiritual world that we're maybe sort of only just becoming more aware of now. It's just amazing.
Well, welcome West Devon. I'm very familiar with it because I used to live in Somerset.
Me too, for 20 years until I moved here, yeah. Langport. So
I know Langport.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
Where were you?
Glastonbury, of course. Yeah. Oh, my dear. The connection seems to have gone a bit squiffy. I might just change over, actually, before we get started. You've frozen into a beautiful smile. Just bear with me. Okay. Yeah, I might just do that anyway.
Is this what happens when you're in Mexico?
Yeah, well, that plus
bad internet.
It's like, you know, we haven't reached the upper echelons of 4G in many areas, although there'll be some that say that we have. I don't believe them because it's not true. Mm-hmm. So while my signal comes on,
do you feel like you kind of get entity attack on like your line? Is that what?
Yeah, I do very regularly. I mean, it depends what the person has been involved with or in. It also depends a lot on how many psychic parasites there are working their way around in these connections. So we see it it's a common thing. It's a very common thing online. I have to do regular clearing and sweeps for that.
I had a crazy one last night. It sounded like a motorbike. I was doing a session with someone and there was this noise in the background. And it literally sounded like a motorbike and it just kept repeating all the way through the session. It was very strange.
Yeah. I would, back at my practice in Glastonbury, I would get black helicopters hovering right over where I was working, trying to chop the energy. It's fascinating. Yeah, all the fun and games. Right. So let's just get started and get right into it. I hope that the connection has stabilized. It should have. So the spiritual courts of equity are open for all avenues here of your existence. Now, what can you tell me a bit about your challenging traumas that you've experienced in this lifetime?
So I guess I've always been a bit of a black sheep, really. I've always been slightly different from everyone in my family. So I don't I don't suppose that was particularly traumatic, but I kind of didn't really fit in, and my parents kind of took that personally, as if I was behaving in a way to sort of be challenging to them rather than just being myself, which kind of maybe just threw my balance off slightly through life. And I've always seemed to make quite odd choices. I don't know, I suppose it's been my life path, but relationship wise, I've just gone through a lot of relationships. So that's potentially just that I was cycling there until I learned that lesson of what I should learn. But I just always seem to meet people that either maybe I would hurt them by leaving them, or reverse, they would hurt me, and sort of until I just had like one quite big heartbreak, and I've just been single since. So maybe that's the main thing, sort of challenge wise, relationships, which has made me slightly reclusive now, actually. I don't tend to interact with people that much because I find people can be quite hard work.
Yeah, they can, especially
nothing hugely different. Carry on, sorry.
And what year were you born?
1971.
1971, okay. So on your day-to-day experience, right, what I'm picking up here is that there is a great deal of shame that you're carrying.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go into your past lives, and we're just going to start clearing it all out. And I want you to take a deep breath into the heart. Do you get shoulder pain?
I occasionally used to get kind of like, when you get a stiff neck down one side or the other. I do tend to round my shoulders and not stand up particularly straight, but I don't necessarily suffer from pain within my shoulders.
Okay.
But I do slouch.
Yeah. And has that been something you've done all your life?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Okay, because it's you're literally carrying a burden of shame. Okay, so let's just look at that there. What I'm going to do is assemble everybody in your existence, your reality, your parents, your lineages, your light line of creation, and we're just going to have a little look there and see what's happening, and just start. I want you to focus on your heart though, because this shame or burden of shame has affected the way that you love and the way that you receive love. So let's just go into the heart and tell me what color you see.
I'm kind of getting the orange glow from the screen. Purple came to my mind, but I don't know.
Just look in.
Maybe quite dark, actually.
What color?
Just feels quite black. That's not very nice, is it?
No, it's not. So let's just focus there on your heart flame. And just remember your light. Remember that you don't have to be anything but you. And we're just going to let go of all the heartache that you incurred. And well done for saying that it feels black and looks black, because not many people would be even brave enough to admit that. Just so you know that. Everybody wants to say that their hearts are gleaming and glowing, really, as a first stop, as a form of protection. Thank you for being so honest. But that's going to change. Okay, so we're just going to start clearing down through the heart. Just allow it to expand with every breath. And you focus on your strength and your light, the spark of the divine spirit that you came here with, to this reality, to this universe. That's it. Lots of shock is going to start moving off you. The hurt, the devastation, the terror. The strain of this existence when you were exceptionally gifted. And this is core heart pain in your chest, into your sternum, into your upper arms. Just Allow it to leave and dissolve. It's giving you space on the correct timeline that you should be on. Timeline of Earth. Letting go of eons of desires where love has not met you in the right signature frequency. Now, your mother and father, how do they get on?
They have they irritate each other, and they tend to bicker and be quite sort of able to be quite explosive with one another. I mean, they've been together for years and years, and so they support each other, and it's nice from that respect, but it can be quite draining.
Yeah.
The relationship.
So how did that affect you growing up?
I do remember getting quite fed up of it. I remember being on a drive with them and just kind of them fighting over the map, and me just saying, for goodness sakes, I'm not even going to get back in the car with you if you just don't stop it. It's unbearable.
I know so many people that say that.
Really? Yeah.
Especially when maps are concerned.
Okay. Yes. Map reading's probably stressful in twos, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so what we're doing is just letting go of that from your frequency, because you really did shoulder a lot of that burden. Now, do you have siblings? Oh, we've got a freeze. After that glitch. We were just getting to the burdens that that Cora was carrying from her parent, but it's a little bit more than that. What I was tuning into in that glitch is that there's leg pain there, and along your right side is a lot darker than your left-hand side. Now, this indicates your past experience on the planet. So we're just going to continue with the clearing. We never stopped during the glitch, by the way. And we're just going to go further into your father's line here. Now, they have a super potential to clear quite quickly. Now, what's their origin in the UK? Are they from the area you live in, or are they from a different part of the country?
I'm pretty sure that they kind of originated from sort of London or the surrounding area, not so far out of London, so that type of area.
Okay, so you've definitely got Roman in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So this whole resolution process, I'm just going to bring in automatically those that were involved in the suppression of your lineage there. I think this is going to be really important for you to note what levels of controls were put upon your parents, families.
There's a lot of red hair in my family as well. It's kind of like bright red hair kind of passes through. I don't know if that's a Roman thing or...
Yeah, well, no, but it's an Irish thing, a Celtic, Gaelic thing. Celtic, so yeah, that kind of combination is very interesting, actually, because, you know, your mother's line has a built-in light frequency. It's huge.
Okay.
And
what does that mean?
What that means is that they've been able to live successfully without incurring too much damage to themselves as a light line. I'm just going to investigate a bit further. A lot of what we see generally is that the father's line will have been battered by war, and that these traits seem to continue on, especially in the male line. So it's really interesting to me when you see quite a nice glow from the female. From the female, sorry, my screen just went crazy then. So this is how I know I'm getting somewhere, because everything starts to go ski whiff. Oh, really?
Fingers
Don't want me
crossed it.
looking away. I can look even more. So in these moments, I just want you to focus on your heart, because this is really important for your own growth. This is
Okay.
here. So let's just go back into the heart. And what is the biggest trauma that you've experienced from a partner in a love relationship?
Well, I guess it was with the father of my 3 youngest children, probably, because I guess that I kind of thought that if I could sort of put enough work in and be willing enough to change myself, that it would be possible to sort of resolve any issue. But then I realised that sort of you can't control someone else and you can't heal someone else's trauma, and they have to kind of do that work for themselves. So it's kind of a two-way thing. It can't all, it's not possible to resolve something if only one person is working at that.
Yeah. And what did you find that as you had the children, your kind of awareness shifted more and more and more into a more expansive state?
It was, and that was also 2012, and I think a lot of people felt that big shift in 2012, didn't they? It's kind of when people started waking up a lot of times. I think I felt a shift in myself, and I started to realize that I needed to change. I could see patterns where I was doing things wrong, and I just kind of started working on myself quite a lot then, and things started to look different to me then.
Yeah. Certain realizations were here on the planet, actually.
Yeah.
Before that, and it reminds me of when I started my adventures into this existence, is that consciousness looked black. And so really by 2012, things were beginning to look a little bit grey out there, which is good. And now we're in a completely different zone. So what I want you to do is just look back at all your past lives. And just we're coming into the bringing in the apex of you, the divine you, because this is about your divine experience. So we're just going to keep going through the layers of the heart, that I want you to remove your protections that you put on yourself to protect yourself from this shame. And it might be just, shame from a scenario where the relationships didn't work out, or you weren't made to feel good. Just let it all go, lovely. All the stress, being a single parent. All the distortions from words from the others, from all your ex-partners into your ears. We're just letting it go. It looks like your ears have been taken a hammering. Letting go of the pain in your right TMJ. And just allowing your soul to expand and let go. And there's some very strong healing frequencies that are going to come through from the earth. And we're looking at your own core connection to yourself here. This is about you. Can you describe what you're feeling and seeing?
I feel a little bit tingly in my legs and my feet.
Yeah. How's your heart feeling?
It feels a lot brighter.
Okay. Have you taken off your own protections?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Sort of when you say protection, as in...
Well, when you protect yourself and you say things like, I'm never going to fall in love again, for example, something like that.
Oh, right.
And it's like a complete sabotage barrier to your own expansion, because actually you will. But firstly, with yourself.
I'm not kind of really aware that I've really done that, but if I've done it, it's been very subconscious, because I've tried to, I probably wasn't in the space to meet somebody again for a long time, but I've kind of been open to the idea if it was right and it was the right person now. So I'm hoping that I've removed those barriers.
Okay, well, let's just go down deeper. I'm going to push you here. right? Because every client will say that they did. And I'm sure that they did with what they're aware of. But what I can see is out of your back, the back of your heart, I'm seeing tremendous restriction.
Okay.
So I will look at that from another angle as well, and look at any restrictions that have been put upon your spiritual growth by others and their shadows unconsciously.
I think a lot of things that we do are very unconscious. Yes, it's
Yeah.
hard to heal things when it's not been in your main awareness.
Yeah, look, nobody gave us a manual when we arrived to Earth.
It's handy, wouldn't it?
I know, right? I'm sure it's in process actually, somewhere out there. Okay. So trust your heart here, darling, and just let go and free fall into you, into the divine you. Just let it go. Let go of the British ways, the British way of how to be, all the British suppressions, the cultural overlays that prevent women from being their truest, wildest, expansive self. And that's not your fault. That's the culture's fault. I know it very well, dear.
It's taken years to get to that point. We've been misled a lot, haven't we, really?
Especially as women in Britain.
Yeah.
You can never be too fabulous. Right? Just let it go. I can feel you. That's it. That's it. That's the spirit. Whew. Right. Now we're cooking on gas. Right. So let's just take that energy and we're just going to expand it and amplify it into every single bone. I'm just bringing forward anyone there that you've got contracts with, but also letting go of your birth impacts as well. You know, the whole process is very stressful for a woman's body, a woman's life. Tops of the hips, of the tops of the pelvic bones. Did you have natural births?
Yeah, I did. And I had twins as well. So that was quite traumatic, giving birth to twins, because once you've given birth to the first one, the second one's kind of floating around in a really big space, and it's kind of hard to find the down way, down push way. Yeah, it's not much fun.
No, but a blessing. Well done. And thank you for bringing those beautiful babies to earth, honestly. That's just beautiful. Right, just feel that expand, that feminine power expand in your core. Never being afraid, letting go of the terror of being a woman. But also letting go of all fears that you experienced as a man. You've had a very balanced 50-50 existence as a man and as a woman. So you have a deeper level of understanding of what it is to be both, which is really great to see. That's it, keep breathing. And we're just going to go delving around in your lineage further back, just facing mum and dad, forgiving them for all their fighting in the car and bickering and all patterning that brought to you, the conflict between two. And letting go of all past life inherited imprints from interventions by the system. All the things you couldn't say around your throat, just letting it go. Just feeling your angelic qualities come back and expand. That's it. You are doing really well. Your expansion is beautiful. Now, in these times as a woman, you're stepping into your elder role. You're just being prepared for that. The great wisdom that you carry. Everything that you've ever learned in this lifetime, every job that you've ever done, all the work, all the children, the people, is preparing for a much bigger purpose. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
To be of assistance.
Oh, do you know what? You're so grounded, and it's really great to see, and so beautifully honest and decent. Really, I really see that about you.
Oh, thank you.
And that when people come to see you for sessions, they'll be really well held because you know how to hold.
Oh, you're making me feel all tearful.
Let it go. Accept yourself. You're divine. I'm loving you. Right. I want you to just feel that expansion ripple out into all of your organs, inside, into the unseen. And this is you in your divine feminine power, the force of grace, sweet divine grace. And just bringing there, all for resolution, those that have hated you, disliked you, cursed you, caused impacts to you behind your back. In letting that go at a spinal level. Anything you've absorbed coming through to this universe. Because you're carrying a divine frequency of earth. So we're just going to let that come through to you. You're very connected to her. I'm just looking here in advance for any targets or influences put upon you or any entities sent your way because of who you are and what you're about to do. The really old ancient ones. And if you could describe what you're feeling, I'm just going to have a very good dig around in the background.
Okay, I just feel quite tingly. It's very cold where I am, so I've got very chilly fingers as well, but I do just feel quite relaxed and tingly in my toes. I've always felt very connected to the earth, so I kind of do try and make that connection every day, just in a meditative state, just to try and send healing down into the earth. I don't know if that's making a difference, but I hope so.
It does make a difference because she appreciates that.
It must have been a tough job being the earth.
Yeah.
We think we have it hard. Try doing that.
Exactly. Yeah, and you think about all the fathers. Wow. The seeding of other life forms continually over and over on this planet, all of them coming to take advantage of her great beauty. Does it sound familiar?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just bring in all beings that have tried to take advantage of you personally, because this is really important. And I'm just looking for any plug-in points to your existence, to realities. I'm just working there on those that have had relationships with you. Is there anything that you would like to say to all those across time that you've ever had a relationship with?
I feel I've made peace with it, but I don't know if that's gone deep enough into my subconscious. I've kind of said sorry to everybody that I feel that I may have hurt. I've sort of tried to do that myself just to resolve that. I've sort of just thinking of the main ones, but I guess like you can never say sorry enough times, is it?
Yeah, well, just connect to them. I just want you to connect to them in this moment and really send that out from your heart, from that light in your heart, with your soul magnified. I'm just ensuring that all contracts there are released, so you're not repeating with the same person down the road.
Just sending them all love, just telling them all that I'm sorry, and I love them.
Just feel that come back to you, that support across time. And for sacred male, we will get to that once we've just done a bit more tweaking on your inner levels. So the masculine and feminine part of you, that's beautiful, sweetheart.
Oh.
So beautiful. Let it go, honestly, let it go, because you know everything.
I don't
that
want my mascara running. Not that I've got very much on. Oh dear.
Gosh, you sound like me. Every oh God, I wish I'd never worn makeup. Right. So I just want you to feel a sacred presence coming into your masculine, the masculine balanced part of you. And this is a divine connection between your feminine and masculine here. So what I'm going to do, what I'm doing in the background is basically removing the influences that happened to your soul when you were pitted. Your soul was pitted against each other, divided and separated. And this happened eons ago, eons, millions and millions of years ago.
Okay.
It's out of living memory because they didn't want us to find out what had happened. Right, so there's some deep traumas there that are going to come in from the past to release. Just be mindful. That was then, this is now, but it's just going to sweep through. I've got all aspects of you waiting for calibration. I'm just retrieving a quarter of your aspects and soul shards that are missing and outstanding for your whole beingness. So I suspect, and I can see that there are parts of you that have been held. And these are key parts of you that have been held by groups, entities that haven't wanted you in your fullest, but also wanted to take what you had because you are a founder of Earth.
I got a feeling that I was here sort of very, very far back.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, now that's coming through strong. Now, just for even you acknowledging that about yourself. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to do something similar. It's a similar process to what I'm going to do with a group on the 2nd of February, because you are an indigo.
I always thought I was, but then I thought indigos were only starseeds that had been here for a short time, and I know that I've been here for a very long time. Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
I always resonated with me. I thought that was the case, but
yeah.
Ah, okay. Because I know that I've been here through many, many lifetimes on Earth.
You have before Earth was even created.
Okay.
Yeah. So
wow, that's a really long time ago.
I know. Look, it's okay.
Okay.
I say that because, you know, we are all coming back together at this time for this job. And, you know, nobody wants to admit that they're eons and millions and millions of years old. It just doesn't look good. Even when you're born in the 70s.
I've never really had an issue with my age. It doesn't bother me just sort of what age I am. It's kind of, I've never had any fear of aging. It's kind of just seems a very natural process to me.
It is a natural process. You're right. It is.
Wow.
So
I guess our lives should be longer, really, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean,
limited.
Exactly. We are infinite, but it's the system that tells us and programs our experience as to how we should be.
Yeah.
Right? So what we're going to do is go back to your very first in life one. And that would have been off planet.
Do you see that on a moon of Jupiter or Uranus? Do you see that?
I'm not even seeing those planets. I'm just seeing your lights at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so much movement around and through the different star systems.
A physical incarnation rather than as a light being.
Yeah, well, more of a light being, because I want this light to come through you so you realize your own divine power. Now, your technology is advanced. There isn't anything that you can't do. You're an all-rounder. So what we're going to do, I just want to bring the polarized factions in, and this is really going to piss off those entities. Oops, excuse my language. And any other subgroup that's connected to them, including the ones that created this system in the first place, of what people are living now. So I'm going to ask them to remove everything that they've done to you personally and your light line of creation. Your mother's line succeeded in getting you here. Really, I honor that. That is huge. They have protection protocols like you wouldn't believe that are going to be very useful for you. Yes.
Wow.
It's like a line of indigo women like this, like really strong, really powerful, beautiful. Right.
Oh, cool.
Now, I just want you to feel your mother's line energy coming through you, through the back of the heart. Yeah. What's your mum's name?
A lot of it coming up through my legs. I just feel this tingle, 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 tingle coming up.
Yeah. Your technology is being, your light technology is being rewired as we speak, just to calibrate you for your core light frequency. So that's just going to start coming through all of them into the back of you. I'm just making sure there's no other. Right. Okay. So there are forms of program there that couldn't quite get to the core of you. They could sort of be in a part of you, but they could not access the core. And that fascinates me. So what I'm going to get you to do is expand your core into your absolute sovereign, highest potential across time. You can do it.
Expand my core. Do I just need to focus on my center?
Yeah, your core.
Imagine that just the light coming out.
Yeah, your masculine and feminine together as one.
Okay.
Unseparated from any trauma when you descended into a human body for the first time.
Okay.
All massacres and all pain frameworks and leaving. And just describe what you're seeing in the background as you're breathing it in and out.
I can kind of see the light going in and out. The breath just. Being distracted by my external eye when my eyes are shut because of the brightness of the lights and things in front of me. So it's kind of distracting my inner eye, my mind's eye.
Yeah. Just use your inner vision. Oh, it's starting to come through. Your Christos light is starting to come through as you activate this.
It kind of feels galactic. I can just sense the galactic space quite far away.
Yeah, I'm just bringing that into your core. And while that's going on, I'm just finding these other aspects of you that have been taken. While people are just taking care of that. Yeah, this will be from the father's line where they have basically, it's that Roman input from the 15 that would have affected your father's line, but also taking parts of you.
I started feeling it on my shoulders then.
Yeah, good, good. And I'm asking them again to remove what they put upon you and to give you back. They have no control over your soul. And I'm suggesting to them that they better start running, because once you're back online with full Christos ability, there's no chance.
I was reading about the history of the Romans. They actually, people say they invaded, but I was looking at the alternative history where they actually came in and they kind of befriended the rich people and sort of offered them wealth and made them wealthy and worked in unison with sort of people that were already here in English to sort of infiltrate in that way, which is not really a tale that we were ever told, was it? It's kind of been worked out by some historians, but it's never been widely spread or publicised.
It never would
Still
be.
very much.
It
No.
never would be. Nobody would say that Boadicea was married to a Roman general.
Was she? I didn't know that.
I know, right?
Didn't know that.
Wrong stuff. So this is how they work. They infiltrate other races. So this is essentially what happened in your father's line.
Okay.
But it was your mother's line that saved him.
Okay. They were slightly different, I think. My granddad, especially, like for his era, he like was a very soft and gentle person, good at fixing things, but he used to sew and make things for the girls, like make them dresses and things. Like, it's quite unusual for a man in his era. I mean, obviously, because I'm 50 now, so like 50, 70, 80, like he would have been in his late 90s if he was still alive. My grandmother too, they were both, I remember them both being very gentle. She died when I was about 5, but I know that she raised me when I was a baby for a short time.
Very important for you, actually, because you know you carry that. It emanates from you. So what I'm just going to, right, we're just getting in the process of getting those parts of you back. I just want to ensure that all indigo false technology, I'm just bringing that up, is cleared from you. Now, you have kept your own records. You've been a witness, an observer, which is fascinating. And just go on. Oh, it's just started raining here too.
Oh, how far back have I kept my own records? Is that just, oh, can you hear me?
My connection's unstable. I'm getting a clear direction into life 2. Life, your second life here.
I know that I came from the Lyra line.
Yeah, right. There you go. So it was there. Gosh, do you know what? The story is so complex and so long. You know, because you are literally beyond that. Oh, yeah, the fighting, the warring, the drama, but you recorded it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I just want to ensure for now is that you have access to that in your own DNA memories. So we're just going to go into your DNA and start that process.
Maybe that goes back to what, because I was aware that I came from like light beings that were blue, like the Brotherhood of 12 or something, who were kind of the watchers. I think there's kind of the word that I got just observing. It seems like, so I guess that's on a par with recording, isn't it?
Right, so let that go. I'm just going to ask them to return any parts of you that were taken, because I'm suspicious of brotherhoods.
Okay.
You know, as a woman in this lifetime, you know, this male-dominated history, you know?
Yeah, true. The word brother maybe shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, hood. Oh, I don't know, hood. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Any light being really should be sort of not really have a gender, really. You're genderless in that state, aren't you?
Yeah. So what's your mission status now?
My mission status going forward, what, for my remaining lifetime here, or I don't even know what's going to happen if we reach New Earth, but I wanted to just kind of raise my kids as best that I can and try and give them a sense of freedom, that out of the restraints of like the system which is imposed on us. I kind of like to go to my study and just like be able to assist others, really, to sort of awaken and find sort of their own soul history and to be aware of who they are. That's my desire for my future in a physical sense. But
so when you look at your DNA, what percentage can you remember? Just go into the heart, use your inner vision.
The number that came to me was 30%. It sort of in a flash.
Okay, so we're just going to clear through your DNA. And I'm just asking your soul to step into its original frequency of protection. Protection from manipulation of false timelines, you name it. Feel yourself getting stronger. Feel your heart go to the next level of its own expansion. Making sure all comes into alignment, all energy centers. As you look down into your womb, going to illuminate it. Just feel you yourself engage with your own memories while we provide a further disentanglement for you. System disentanglement complete. All timelines, past, present, and future. With your goal coming into focus. Can you tell me what your goal is?
Freedom. Freedom mainly. Freedom for everyone on Earth, or all of us, all life on Earth.
Beautiful. I've got goosebumps. So we're taking that goal and we're just moving that through all your fields of awareness, seen and unseen. Just ensuring all target groups stay out of your way. And if you can describe what you see, and if you could describe a story for the listener of your own remembrance of who you are.
My goodness. Are you wanting something that I was already aware of, that I've seen previously, or yeah?
No, from this moment now.
In this moment now. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Connect. Just do get a sense of a time on Earth when we were a lot freer, and I feel like I'm female, so a female lifetime when we were very much more in connection with the Earth. Just get a sense of being much more connected with the water and the land. So sort of there have been times on Earth when that's been the case, I think, haven't there? We've gone sort of fluctuated, but yeah, just a time of freedom and peace. So
exactly. So what we're going to do, there are key parts of you that were taken out of existence, and I've been working on them in the background to get them back into integrated with you. So we've got about 30% that are ready for integration with you.
mm-hmm.
So can you receive these parts of yourself back cleansed? But you have to open your heart deeper.
Okay.
And let me know when you can feel that coming in. Just expanding that feeling into 0 point within your heart. Really take note of that 0 point calibration. And just feeling the disentanglement from your entire journey, from any being that seeks to restrict you. Calibrated masculine and feminine in equal harmony.
I do feel that the masculine side of me has been quite suppressed, say, which has sort of stopped me having a voice and sort of standing in my power quite a bit.
What happened to him?
What's that? Masculine side of myself?
Yeah, what happened to the masculine in you?
I don't know, really. I don't know.
Just
I have no idea. Maybe. Yeah,
battered.
I think I battered, potentially. Yeah, I feel like it didn't really make a very good start from the very beginning. I don't know, though. Yeah.
No, it is because you were separated. These parts of you were separated off. So you were continually looking to have these different types of relationships to satisfy that masculine need.
Ah, right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So let's just heal that right now. We're just going to tell him it's okay to have those experiences. And we're letting them go of all those traumatic devastations of separation from his feminine. Right. Wow. He's gorgeous.
Where's he been?
Right.
Is that kind of like a separate sort of reincarnated into a separate being then?
Yeah.
That's separated off. So
yeah.
It's like kind of similar to like a twin flame type thing.
It is.
When you're split and separated in that way.
Yeah, it is. But actually, this is about you. Because we were both once upon a time. We were both, and it's like there was a time back in Lemuria where that happened, where we were literally separated off, and we were taught to fight each other because of this system agenda. So there was always this battling going on for domination and control of one or the other. But when we come back into that one beingness.
So who was responsible for that splitting in Lemuria then? Was that just
faction groups from various dimensions? We're looking at, there are false ones, their names. I've forgotten your names. That means you've become irrelevant in my existence. Yeah, so we've got a lot of draconian subgroups. We've got Pleiadian subgroups all around from even before the Lyran Wars took place. This was way, way before. And often what would happen is that a light being would be taken from their family, experimented upon, and then they didn't ever have a chance of finding that love in their lives. So then there was less of an ability to love. And then the love levels went down on the planet, and then war increased.
Yeah.
So let's just make sure he's fully integrated into you now.
I never understood war growing up. It never made sense, did it? The stories they told us as to why it was happening, that never made sense because it was all a lie.
Their narrative has been a complete lie for thousands and millions of years. I'm being a bit dramatic there, millions of years. And it always, the story that they gave never resonated because we knew the truth on the inside levels, and they told us that all our DNA was rubbish. Holds all the answers. This is why they seek to control it. Here in these moments, in this whatever they're doing out there now.
Yeah.
So what percentage of that masculine is integrated with you now?
I got 70% flashed to me.
Okay.
50 to 70%. That's what I got. 50
Okay.
initially, and then 70 came in afterwards.
Good. That's good. We like a bit of unlimited movement. So we're just going to increase that to 100 so you are fully integrated. And this makes your connection very solid, very balanced, even more so.
Mm-hmm. My shoulders feel a lot straighter. I don't know if that's even possible, but I just feel a lot like...
Yeah, this is you, open, strong, physically integrating the light of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just explaining to the masculine part of you that this won't happen again, that the feminine is there to hold you and hold space as well, equally in parity, neither one greater than the other. Wow. Ooh, how does that feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling that's complete.
Okay.
100%.
Now, all those that messed around with you and your lineage over time, can you forgive them all?
Yes. Just don't do it again.
Yeah, it's true. Get out.
Yeah.
Now,
It's all an experience for growth, isn't it? I guess for growth and learning.
It is. Oh, I've got goosebumps along my knees. Oh, that's a good sign. So what I want you to do is close your eyes for a moment, and just in front of you, we're just going to bring in your next being of love. I'm only going to describe them as a being of love. And I just want you to connect to that frequency of equal signature frequency. And let me know when you feel that.
Yeah, I think so.
So now you know what's coming to you.
Feels like pink and green energy together, sort of combined. I don't know if that's like...
No fighting, no battling, no bickering, just being. Just feel that energy support your process. Now I'm the one that's going to start crying because it's so beautiful. Someone that will always be there. Now, that could even be a marriage at some point, but just don't do contract marriage, do ceremony.
I kind of feel this is always there, but I just had to go through all this process that it's been there sort of as a thing that will always be existing at some point in place in time once I've gone through all my lessons and learned all the things that I've got to learn and healed myself and sort of completed that part of my journey.
It's beautiful. Can't wait. I don't know why I can't wait, but I love that.
Oh, I suppose I kind of feel like I need to be sort of strong enough and able enough to just sort of do life just as me. So sort of feeling like relying on that as being something that is necessary doesn't seem that I feel like I shouldn't find that necessary. Do you know what I mean? But then again, I think it's love, and love's good, isn't it? Love's good to have as part of your life. So
yeah, it is.
love creates more love.
Exactly.
Be
And
isolated.
Time for you as well, really important for your own nurture.
Yeah, we all need that, I guess, don't we?
Yeah, mothers in particular, because you give so much out.
Yeah.
Giving of yourself. So let's just get the energy returned to you that was taken from you across time. Just feel that coming in, all the love you should have had at this level. And tell me what you're feeling.
Kind of feels like selenite, in sort of, I can feel it coming towards me like that, and I've got the colour orange sort of coming towards my hands and just coming towards me in lines. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
That's what I got an image of.
This is 18th dimensional frequency of you in love. The system can only move to 12D. You can go beyond it. Just feel that in your core, feel that in your heart. And tell me what colour your heart is now.
I'm pink.
And can you say 3 times, I accept my infinite Christos light?
Okay. I accept my infinite Christos light. I accept my infinite Christos light. I accept my infinite Christos light.
Boom. Feeling that upshift to all areas of your body, spirit, and soul. A lot of soul shards coming back here. All the love you should have had. Upshifting into your divine blueprint. Feeling your own sacred peace. Peace with self. Peace in your soul.
So a real indigo blue when you said blueprint. I suddenly went flushed indigo blue, a really deep, dense, dark indigo blue.
Beautiful. Just feel yourself get stronger. And taking that into your future path. Just feeling your core protection. Feel your divinity flow through your body. I'm going to pay you an honour. I give thanks for you being on the planet, that you made it this far. You did really well. You achieved infinite levels of expansion on your own journey, whilst preserving the gifts and skills that you came here with.
Thank you for all that you do on every plane and dimension, across time and space. You must be making a huge difference.
Thank you. It takes an awful lot to upshift sticks from Somerset. Yeah. but it's a new phase, a new journey, a new time for us all. And we've all just got to get online and get busy and get this out, uproot this negative system out. And
how did you end up so far from home in Mexico? Such a long way. What drew you there?
Well, I've sort of been coming out here for the last couple of years. So during lockdown, I was traveling. I
beautiful.
shed an awful lot and let go. And in my own experience, in my own, like who I was, how the UK was not supporting my creativity at all. I'm an indigo as well.
We tend to be rebellious, don't we?
I was rebellious all my life.
I don't like systems. Systems are irritating. Doing things just for the sake of it because someone said it should be that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, but why? But why?
Anything the system said, I'm doing the opposite.
Unless they can really resonate with me and convince me, but that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, I somehow managed it. And I came out alive, which is great. My main motivation are the children of this planet, because they didn't come in like us. The waves that came in after us, they're so gentle and peaceful. And, as a mother, right?
My eldest two children are incredibly gentle and peaceful.
Yeah.
So.
They just don't
sure
have
about the next three.
Yeah, well,
they're feisty.
Good.
Yeah.
Your twins have a very special connection here on the planet. And I'm just going to mention this to you, that they will need extra protection.
Okay.
It's a very unique thing. And I say that, I love them all. I love them so much.
Can you sort of, in what way?
Well, the advanced ability that they carry. Now, school systems seek to squash this, first and foremost. Projections, interference. That's the biggest one for the children of the planet today, the interference via the lineages. They came in completely karma-free as of the year 2000. And they've only inherited what we have impressed upon